show you guys real quick. There's a couch from my bed this morning. So it's starting to set up. And it's starting to solidify. It's a little bit like mud, Play-Doh. I see I've got still areas that are not covered. So what I've got is I've got another compound over here. See how it's kind of thickening up? It's like clay. Kind of like a clay, doughy clay thing. All around here I've got to make a wall and make it a little bit more thicker on the outside and build it up. It's like it's right here, it wants to fucking set up and shit. And then I've got some parts where I've thickened it up in the middle here. But there are some pieces over here that don't want to be covered. So what I'm going to do, I'll set you guys down over here. You guys can watch from over there. Right here. I've got another batch set up. And it's starting to warm up. So what I want to do now, burlap, put it in the compound and lay it over the top in places strategically where it will make a bonding effect. Because this is going to be a heavy flat piece, I don't want it to be weak in spots, bend and crack. So I'm going to put in the middle on the edges outside here and then do an X across the middle. So we have a bonding effect of burlap for reinforcement. I thought about that, thought, well, if it's a heavy enough piece, and I think it's going to be bad enough that I'm going to, accidentally drop it, because I don't plan on having it too far away from somewhere where I can't just put it in some kind of a, on the floor and cast from there, which is really what I've got to do. And I know it's going to be thick and it's going to be heavy. That's the whole effect is try to get it as thick and as heavy as possible, at least on the back side here, because I don't want to pour latex, go do a pull, and all of a sudden, oh look, it cracked. I just had to do that shit with the Jason Goes to Hell bust mask, and that didn't work out so well. So I'm just going in with another layer over the top of this before it dries. It's not goopy, sour, mushy. More like a wet clay, a little runny. But I'm putting it back over the top, kind of trying to smooth it out. And I've got this one edge over here that's real rough that I'm going to have to add a whole wall to. So this is like pancake batter. So I can take this, and it's not going to run where the water is going to pool and all that stuff. So I can take this and kind of dribble it around the outside to make a little bit of a lip on the edges. So when it hardens, it will in fact create a outer wall that will kind of reinforce the piece to where it doesn't break or crack. Hard thing about this is I've got these thick strips of burlap. Not thick, they're about a 1/4 inch, but they don't really set up as nicely unless you've got a real thick piece to do. This is fucking craft store shit. I don't really like using it, but goddamn, you got to use what you got. Gotta use what you got. Gotta make what you can do and make do with what you can. Hey, if it works for Alan Hops, it can work for me too. That dude is one of the ones who's educated and taught me quite a bit on YouTube Wednesdays. Y'all need to check out Alan Hop's channel. Stilt Beast Productions, Stilt Beast Studios. He's quite a character. He's really good at what he does. He does his on a more professional level. Me? I do this for fun, because I ain't got nothing better to do. Now, I'm actually been doing this for off and on for a while. A couple of years, and really haven't made any pieces for sale because it was kind of a hobby. But then I started showing it off, and people were like, oh, I like what you do. Where can I get one of those? Well, gee. Let me see what I can do. So hopefully, some of you guys are cosplay and stuff like that. I want some of these pieces. Hopefully it'll work for you. That's the goal. And I like this mud. I'm having so much fun. It's like being 4 years old again. Really is like being 4 years old again. So I'm down over here mixing more water, more hydrocal, more water, more hydrocal, ultracal, whatever the hell it is. All I know is it's concrete. And I'm spazzing about this one little spot here that's got to have a separation on it. Whereas a wall needs to be set up. Fuck, man, this is costing me. I've already used probably half a bag of ultracal already on this. Isn't that something? It's a 50-pound bag I just opened. And I've still got 2 pieces to go. Oh no, I'm going to have to go to Charlotte. Gonna have to go to Reynolds and buy more ultracal. Oh, it's only $25 a bag, no big deal. Boy, this fucking burlap just irritates me. Burlap doesn't want to work. Nothing wants to work around here. I got a guy in the cuckoo's nest. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work here. Good movie. Y'all should check that out. Sometimes I might forget I'm on video and just start acting weird. Don't worry about it. That's just me in here by myself. I entertain myself by doing stupid stuff. You know, you get some line from a movie stuck in your head and you gotta say it out loud to make it better. My latest has been Quint from Jaws because I'm working on a sculpt on him and I've got it almost finished, but I wanted to take the time off of that and do this. and get this done and set up, because people are already messaging me about when's it going to be ready, how much is it going to be, and how soon can I have one? Because convention season is kicking off here, and people want to be ready for that. So, when I'm working on Mr. Quint, all I can think is, I've stuck my neck out for a lot more than $3,000, Chief. I'll find him for 3, but I'll catch him and kill him for 10. Woohoo! See, that makes me feel better already. I don't know about you guys, but feeling pretty good here. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a deviation here for a second. I was using those thick little bandage, thick little things. I've got some plaster bandages around here somewhere. I may throw a couple of those on there. Where did I put my bandages? I'm getting low on these guys. These are medical grade bandage. Gibsonia's medical grade bandages. Come in little wraps like this. I've got 2 of these left. One thing about this, when you open it up, kind of spoil it a little bit. I've showed you guys this before. Take this off, double it up like that. Tear it off. Dip it in the hydrocal or ultracal. Wet it, wring it. Once you wring it out, take it over here, and I'm going to make an X across the back for reinforcement. Fucking shit. Look at that, it already wants to stick to itself. Like I said, nothing works here. I hate it. I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medication don't work. I hate it here. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Usually people are smarter and they pre-cut their pieces before they get started and do this. Not me. I kind of work on the fly sometimes. A lot of the time. And it does work for me to be spontaneous. I have yet to have an event where something backfired on me because I was spontaneous about it. For instance, the Terminator painting that I did of the T-800 skull. A little too much air pressure from the airbrush gun made the irises, the pupils, a little bit more of like a human thing, where they were red with a ring around them and black in the middle. I just left it like that. I said, what the hell? It's an artistic endeavor where it looks good. Like Peanut said, look good, look good, look good. Now you got another little bit of craziness. Woohoo! Shit, man, that damn thing wants to set up, set up, set up, set up, set up. Come on, set up. I can feel the heat building up in this thing, so this thing's going to set up overnight. I'm going to leave it out here all day, today, for the rest of the day, and all night tonight. let it set up for 24 hours. That way I can make sure that it's going to mold correctly. Smoothed out the back, was flat. So when I flip it over and lay it down, it's likely going to be, I'm going to clean off some space over there on that shelf there and just lay these big fat pieces over there and never move them. And then just go over there and pour latex and brush it in and let it cure and then pull it out. Paint it up, send it off. Rather boring when you think about it. Constantly doing the same thing over and over and over and over. But I did that for 15 years while driving a truck, so I'm used to that. Doesn't bother me. I do like a little bit of continuity. Oh my God, especially in films. That's one of my OCD things. If I see something in a film like Friday the 13th where the continuity is not preserved, and for those of you who don't know what that $20 word means, continuity is the non-changing of an event, I would say, or a character like flaw. Okay, take for example, Jason always has one eye that's bad and one eye that's good. And they have switched that around in the films and said, oh, okay, left eye's good, his right eye's bad. Because if you remember part 4, he got the machete in the side of the head. And it was actually this side. And so it's flipped. His eye's been on the left, his eye's been on the right. You know, that's called the non-continuity of film, where they switch shit around because they're not paying attention or they just don't care. And that tends to irritate me. And that's why sometimes I think when people make these masks and stuff, and they just go by what they see on the film, and they don't realize that they're copying mistakes. So, you know, like say for example, Cassie Marie, if you're watching, lovely thing you. My God, that woman's so beautiful. You guys don't know who Cassie Marie is. She looks like a little elf from Lord of the Rings. I mean, she's just gorgeous. Cassie Marie recently bought a Good Guys doll from my friend Justin Mabry over at Trick or Treat Studios, the same guys that made the Halloween 2018 mask, Michael Myers. And thing about that is it's a Good Guys doll, but that's all it is. And you pay $600 for this thing, and it walks, it talks, hi, I'm friends to the end, and all that shit. Okay, that's nice, but wouldn't it be better if they had optional change-out heads and maybe a little chip to put in them, so you could take the head off, put the Chucky head on, take the little SIM card out the back, put a new SIM card on, and turn it into Chucky? Wouldn't that be good? For $600? Shit. I would do that. So I messaged Justin and said, hey, how about I make or design or print out or whatever a couple of different types of Chucky heads. If you can send me the dimensions of the Good Guy doll head, and I will see what I can do to help maybe change this up. Or, I don't know, maybe I could just do that on the side. I can't promise anything on the SIM card thing, but I sure would love to be given the opportunity to be able to change up the Chucky Good Guy doll thing. Kind of like they didn't really know what they were doing. or think about what they were doing. They just see one thing and go, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to make Chucky. We're going to make the Good Guy doll. That's fine, but, you know, there's some of us like to think outside the box. And we like to have it all. It's like some of you guys out there that collect these $2,000 and $3,000 NECA Sideshow Elite. I was talking to a gentleman earlier over in the UK, and he was like, you know, paying $3,000 for a damn Jason Part 4 bust with a mask and a sculpt and all that in a solid resin. I'm like, dude, my stuff will never be that expensive. Oh yeah, you could probably sell to maybe 100 people in China or Japan where they've got all that damn money. A lot of you guys don't have a lot of money. The way I see it is to make stuff affordable where people can buy it. And the more they buy it and they like it, they'll tell their friends will come over, their friends will buy it, and you've got a little profitable business where you're making stuff. You know, I don't think my shit's going to go to Trans World or anything like that. That's a professional grade haunted house type, you know, movie stuff type thing. I mean, sure, here's a question. Alan, if you're watching or you see this, I've always wondered, why didn't they change the name? I mean, you call it Trans World. In today's atmosphere, the word trans, of course, is a bad thing because most people think you're talking about transsexuals. The men that want to be women and the women that want to be men, whatever the hell that is. All I can say is Miko Hughes said it better than Kindergarten Cop. And when I met him a couple of weeks ago, boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. End of story. That's it. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm deviating. Alan, why is it that nobody, or is it just me, does anybody ever think that that's kind of a weird name? Trans World. I know it's been around for years, but I always kind of wondered that because, you know, with today's atmosphere, I don't think anybody really worries about it, but, you know, it's just one of those things that make you go, you know, how weird is this? Alright, well, boys and girls, this ain't getting hot, and it's setting up, which is what we want. It's good. Very good. I mean, it's getting hot like a pizza in a damn oven. I just want to make sure I got enough overlay on this one stupid plaster bandage that doesn't want to lay down. Stupid ass. You do your job. I'm going to fire you. I'll do it better than President Trump. You're fired. Or Vince McMahon. One of the two. Yes, things can get weird in here. Like I said, I've got a little bit of OCD, a little bit of Asperger's. Probably where my creativity comes from. Kind of high functioning. I mean, I've never really been diagnosed, but my wife says, oh, you definitely have Asperger's. Because when I was younger, I was just always, you know, couldn't sit still. Had to be doing something. Got distracted easy. You know. Most artists, comedians, and stuff like that have some kind of a back history where they have some kind of messed up thing that causes them to be the way they are. Comedians are probably one of the worst for bad incidences and turning something positive into negative, or negative into positive. God almighty. I can't think. Okay, I'm going to clean off my hands real quick, show you guys this thing up close. You can see how pretty it is. I like things that are pretty. I like making pretty things. I like making pretty damn scary shit, too. Alright, here we go. Hang on, you're going to get dizzy for a second. Ta-da! Remember how that looks? Starts out like this. All rough and ragged and stuff like that, see? Bad pieces. Rough, ragged pieces. Yeah, I got plaster in here I got to dig out. If I can make sure this shit, see? It's a problem. Last casting, plaster's left in there. So I got to dig this old plaster out of here and make it nice and new. And we're going to put new plaster in. And that's what new plaster looks like. Remember how it was all the ribs and the spinal column? Well, now I've got an outside wall here. That's the outside border. Of course, got a couple of plaster pieces, medical bandages over the back, so that's going to be reinforcement. See, it doesn't want to lay down because it's real thick. And that's not going to be a problem when it sets up. I tried to smooth it out because when this stuff hardens, like I said, it's concrete. And if you have any sharp edges and shit, it'll cut you. But some people might think that's overkill. But when it sets up like this, and see, the reason I haven't cast anything on this yet, see how gray it is inside? It's still curing. It's still having to set up a little bit. It's dry, but it hasn't quite set up all the way. And that's just me brushing it out. But I'll have that, you know, within the next day or two, that'll probably be ready to cast from. So, basically got this set up. Gonna let it set out here and dry for all day today and all night tonight. See? Had that one little lip right here that wanted to cause me problems, and I just put more hydrocal on there and made like a wall over the top of it. I should stop messing with it. But it's going to set up, and when it does, it's going to be a beautiful thing. Alright, well, I'm going to clean up here, and I will bring you guys out here tomorrow when this thing is done. So we will see you then. Thanks.